Squad? MizzyWorld Entertainment is back to present another episode of MadMizzy Sports in the AM. Good morning. Welcome back. And y'all know where we starting it off at, man. We got a lot to talk about, man. We had a crazy trade deadline in the NFL. So y'all know I got to start off with the trade deadline that happened in the NFL. We had a lot of moves going on. So I'm going to give out some trade grades and see if all this hype is really worth what everybody's talking about. You dig what I'm saying as far as these trades go? Because I see people excited, elated, and thinking that it's about to bring them a Lombardi, but we gonna see. You dig what I'm saying? Let's start off with for me, what was the most underrated trade of the entire trade deadline was Rashid Shaheed going to the Seattle Seahawks for a fourth round pick and a fifth round pick. To me, that was a perfect pickup for the Seattle Seahawks. You think they got Tyler Horton, they got Jackson Smith and Jigba playing as the best wide receiver in the NFL right now, on pace for 2,000 receiving yards. JSN, shout out to JSN. And then you add Rashid Shaheed to that offense. He's a blazer. You know what I'm saying? Lightning fast. You feel what I'm saying? He might be the second fastest wide receiver in the NFL behind Tyreek Hill, or at least top five as far as speed goes in the NFL. You add him with Jackson Smith and Jigba and Tyler Horton, AJ Barner, Kenneth Walker III, Zach Charbonnet. Oh my goodness, Sam Darnold playing well. Oh my goodness, bro. That Seattle team is coming together to be a real well-rounded team after getting rid of DK Metcalf. You get what I'm saying? After getting rid of Geno Smith. That's that's impressive, man. That's the shit that I want my Niners to do, bro. And we had Sam Darnold. We had Sam Darnold. You dig what I'm saying? So that was just, for me, that was an A+ trade. You didn't give up too much, and you got somebody that can really make a huge impact on your team. Like Rashid Shaheed is a massive, explosive player. Anytime you see him making a play, it's a 70-yard touchdown or something. You feel what I'm saying? So to add that explosion with Jackson Smith and Jigba, and then the ground and pound game of Kenneth Walker III and Zach Charbonnet. Oh my. Yeah, that Seattle team. Y'all get an A+ for me. Y'all get an A+ for me. Let's get over to the big trade that had everybody talking, everybody walking up to me, because everybody know I'm a sports dude. If I'm not watching nothing else or listening to nothing else at work other than sports. That's the main thing I'm talking about. Because when I get into other stuff, I'm gonna check you on your politics. You feel what I'm saying? But that's besides the point. Let's get into the Sauce Gardner trade. Two first-round picks from the Indianapolis Colts to acquire cornerback Sauce Gardner, to add him with Travaris Ward, Kenny Moore. They is stacked. DeForest Buckner on the front line, not to mention that stout front seven, and then they probably got the best defensive backfield in the NFL, man. Like I said, when you talk about Sauce Gardner, Kenny Moore, and then Travaris Ward, that's just three dominant corners right there. You shit, I could be playing safety with them corners. You feel what I'm saying? So that, to me, I'm not going to give it an A+ trade, because two first-round picks is a lot, especially for a cornerback. Especially when I said, when I just mentioned, that's one of their stronger positions on this team is cornerback. So to go out there and spend two first-round picks on a cornerback that hasn't been playing his best ball of lately. You get what I'm saying? He's done regressed, if you ask any true true NFL fans. Sauce has regressed since his rookie year. You get what I'm saying? Now, it's not been crazy regression, but he hasn't progressed either. And maybe that's just because the team has been so inept, so he's just not in these big leverage situations. But yeah, I mean, he ain't putting the same fear out there as he was when he was coming out of Cincinnati. I'm gonna just say that. You get what I'm saying? So great trade, but I just think that the Colts probably gave up a little bit too much, especially for a cornerback. So for me, I'm gonna give the Colts a B on that trade. I'm gonna say around like 84, 85. It's a good joint, but you overthought it with two first rounders. You probably could have got him for a first rounder and a third rounder, in my opinion. Or don't go after him at all, because the defense looked pretty good out there in Indianapolis. I don't think it's the cornerbacks that's the issue. If anything, they probably got to address, again, like I said, that front seven. Like they got absolutely dominated by the Steelers. You get what I'm saying? And the Steelers ain't been dominating nobody in the trenches and since the Killer Bees days. You feel what I'm saying? Since Big Ben uh Antonio Brown and our guy. You know what I'm saying? I forgot what's my name? What's my man name? Le'Veon and Le'Veon Bell. You know what I'm saying? Bell, Brown, and Ben. Since then they ain't been dominating the trenches, you dig? So I think that the Colts probably could have held back a little bit as far as giving up all that draft capital for Sauce Gardner. I thought that was a lot, in my opinion. Let's get over to the big trade for the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry said he had something in the works. He's like, listen, we just got smacked. But I got some work. I got something in the works. I ain't just worried about that $100 billion. I'm still worried about the Cowboys. Go out there and get Quinnen Williams for a first round draft pick and a second round draft pick and Mozzie Smith, who was, I believe, a second round draft pick, but he hasn't panned out for the Dallas Cowboys. But I just feel like now you're chasing the player that you didn't sign. Aren't you now acquiring Quinnen Williams to come in and help that run defense that hasn't gotten better since you got rid of Micah Parsons, and to add to a pass rush that has gotten a lot worse since you traded away Micah Parsons? So now you just chasing the rabbit. You get what I'm saying? Now you down the rabbit hole, Jerry. You know what I'm saying? Now you down the rabbit hole. Quinnen Williams? I don't think Quinnen Williams been Quinnen Williams in the past 2 seasons. Last time he was a big name was when Aaron Rodgers was first coming to the Jets. They like, oh, they got Quinnen Williams. He dominant out there. You know what I'm saying? They got Sauce Gardner. That's the last time we was talking about these dudes like they was some great impact players in the NFL. And that's not to say that Quinnen Williams is not going to be that, but I don't think he's going to be that with the Dallas Cowboys. Not where it's all about the headlines. It's all about how much we can stir it up down here in Dallas. Quinnen with all that. That's why they wasn't winning in New York. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, y'all want us to just lean into the New York lifestyle, not focus on football? I'm perfectly fine with that. Guess what? Dallas Cowboys cool with that. We gonna speak on them and their absolutely dreadful performance on Monday Night Football, but they not worried about winning no games. This was a headline move right here, bro. So to see Marcus Spears, who we all know as being this huge Cowboy supporter on ESPN, rooting and oh, well, they did something. They should have never got rid of Micah. Period. Now I know we gonna come back around and try to act. They should have never got rid of Micah. Now you chasing the rabbit. You get what I'm saying? And now the same offense that just 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, we look at, oh, they gonna be unstoppable. They can get CD the ball, they gonna get George the ball, they got a run game now. They scored like 17 points in the past 2 games. You know what I'm saying? Average 17 points in the past 2 games. I don't know if they even put up 17 against the Broncos in Denver, but only 17 against the Cardinals? Come on, you gotta be kidding me. You feel what I'm saying? So to go out there and get Quinnen Williams like that's gonna change something, it's not. It's not. You know what I'm saying? It's a headline move, but I'm gonna give it a D, man. You feel what I'm saying? You address an area of the football field that you should have already addressed in the offseason by signing the superstar that you already had in the building and Micah Parsons. You wouldn't be here if you just gave Micah Parsons the 42.5 million or did the negotiations with his agent instead of him personally. You get what I'm saying? So I get that a D. Let's get over to the other one that I think is a very, very underrated trade. And that's Jacoby Myers getting traded from the Las Vegas Raiders to the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's crazy because they just played each other. So I guess the Jaguars was like, hey, Jacoby, listen, bro. Las Vegas, they ain't about to go nowhere, bro. Just hop on this train and hop on this plane with us. And we gonna take you back to Duval. We gonna iron all the details out with the GM once we land. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's shocking to me. Like I've never seen where two teams just played each other and then they trade one of their best players to that team, and one is going downward and the other one is going upward. You dig what I'm saying? So shout out to Jacoby Myers for getting up out of Las Vegas. That's an absolute shit show out there, and getting out there to Jacksonville that's actually building something, and it's going to add to a receiving core and probably take a little bit away from Travis Hunter, who's been out. They don't know. I think they placed him on IR, so they need a little bit of wide receiver help. They need a little bit of explosion, and Jacoby Myers is a very, very underrated wide receiver in the NFL. I know every time I was watching him, when Devontae Adams was there, I thought he was the number one. I'm like, damn, is Jacoby the number one out here? You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, man, shout out to Jacoby for getting up out of Las Vegas and landing in Jacksonville. Good luck. I'm gonna get that trade. I'm gonna get that one a B. I mean, I'm gonna give it a B because Jacoby probably a rental anyway. I don't see him staying down there in Duval, especially if they gonna be gearing Travis Hunter up to be a full-time wide receiver. They not gonna keep him. Brian Thomas has been snapping of lately. So yeah, Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter will probably be good enough, especially. And then they got the Bull Parker. Yeah, they stacked at the wide receiver position. Good move for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's get over to breaking down, like I said, Monday Night Football of the Dallas Cowboys losing to the Arizona Cardinals. And I just gotta say this, man, because I don't like to lie to y'all. I don't like to put myself on this fictitious pedestal. I thought the Cowboys was gonna win. And I don't know why I keep thinking that this Dallas Cowboys franchise is a real NFL football team. It's not. It's a soap opera, bro. It's a soap opera. Y'all got worked out 27-17 by uh by the Cardinals, that got Jacoby Brissett out there. Now, don't get me wrong, Jacoby Brissett definitely got this offense revving a lot more smoothly than Kyler Murray ever. But you got the highest paid quarterback in the NFL getting outperformed by a backup. No matter how you slice it, we're not even. This is not even a Kyler Murray, Jacoby Brissett discussion. This is a Dak Prescott. You just got outperformed in back-to-back weeks by Bo Nix and Jacoby Brissett, and you're a $60 million quarterback. The main reason they said that they got rid of Micah Parsons because he's a little bit, you know what I'm saying? It's a little friction there between Micah and Dak. And the funny thing is now Micah got to deal with Jordan Love and his ineptitude and him being probably the reason that they won't win. It's crazy how Micah can't escape it. But this is ridiculous, bro. And then you look at the statistics, it's not even too crazy, bro. But y'all lost by 10 points at home, bro. At home. To the backup Cardinals, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Will Johnson was questionable out there hobbled. They can't get the ball to CD Lamb or George Pickens. You know what I'm saying? Y'all not running the ball. What's the defense doing? They can't stop a nosebleed. They getting ran all over. Get off me. Get off me. I guess Micah wasn't the issue as far as the run defense goes. It's just it's astonishing, man, and it's honestly a reflection of America, bro. Because regardless of what I'm saying, regardless of what any of the other 31, the fans of the other 31 teams of the NFL say, the Dallas Cowboys still had the biggest fan base, haven't been to a conference championship game in coming up on 30 years because they ain't gonna get there this year, and they know that Jerry don't want to win the Super Bowl. This is literally America. They know for a fact Jerry Jones' best interest isn't the fans or winning. His best interest is selling tickets and bolstering up his pocket, his bank account. That's literally America, bro. Is how many people is willing to sign up to make another person's dreams come true, bro. That's all the Dallas Cowboys fans are people that support Jerry Jones' $1 billion dream. You're not getting a slice of the pie. And if you do, you get charged to even experience a slice of the pie. You feel what I'm saying? Those tours ain't free down there in Dallas. Those those tickets in Jerry World, some of the highest tickets you gonna pay for an NFL game, bro. And they still sign up year in and year out. It is what it is. I'm just not gonna fall for the trap no more. They garbage. They show up and cover the spread, never win, but they show up and cover the spread in regular season games against teams that they probably shouldn't, besides my Niners. You get what I'm saying? Like they cover the spread against the Packers and the Eagles, but then you go out there, you get worked out by the Panthers, the Broncos, and the Cardinals. That team, it's a joke. The Dallas Cowboys are a joke, and their fan base is a joke. You know what I'm saying? Their fan base is uber gullible, bro. For y'all to still be supporting this nonsense, this fugazi football team, is astonishing, bro. Astonishing. Y'all traded away Michael Parsons in the offseason just to trade for Quentin Williams at the trade deadline. That's got to be the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life, bro. Dumbest shit. You know what I mean? You trade away the younger, better player to go and trade for an older, lesser player later on to address the needs that the younger, better player left when you traded him away. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. Let's get over to the NBA though, man. We got a lot going on. The NBA came in 2025 with a bang. Wemby out here going for the MVP. Giannis out here hitting fadeaway jump shots, grabbing his nuts down, booing the fans. Oh man, this is Tyrese Maxey out here doing his thing, man. It's been a great start for the NBA season, and it was honestly much needed after the past two regular seasons for the NBA, man, has been absolutely garbage. Nobody's tuning in. And honestly, it's affecting how people tune in later on in the year once the playoffs start and the game gets a little bit tighter and the product gets a lot better. Because when you look at the World Series numbers compared to the finals numbers, bro, I think it was like 10 million more people that watched the World Series than the NBA finals, bro. Than the NBA finals. So yeah, man. Shout out to the NBA for taking note and saying we gotta get our product better, man. So the first thing to me that's been standing out, shout out to Tyrese Maxey, man, because as as being in Philadelphia, we know that they tanked for 5, 6 years. I was down there, South Philly, eating it, grabbing them tickets. You feel what I'm saying? They was dirt cheap. I'm sitting on floor seats for $30 because they tanking every game. You feel what I'm saying? But they did that to win. You get what I'm saying? And it's almost like because last year Paul George was hurt, Tyrese Maxey got hurt, Joel Embiid came in hurt. It's almost like we forgot that they are a team that's going for the Larry O'Brien. They're a team that wants to win the finals. They think they're a top contender. And for Tyrese Maxey to take on that lead role to be the leading scorer in the NBA at 33 and a half points per game, while Joel Embiid is getting himself right, getting himself better, not feeling as though he got to push himself, that's going to be great for them moving forward. Absolutely great. VJ Edgecombe been playing out of his mind. Earlier in the year, I called him VJ Honeycomb because I didn't forgot his name and all that. Apologies, brother. You dig what I'm saying? But Edgecombe been playing out of his mind. They getting Jared McCain back. I was always a huge Kelly Oubre fan. Even when people used to want to diminish that by saying, "Oh well, Draymond, he's really the point guard and this that." I'd be like, man, Steph can win with Kelly Oubre. What you talking about, bro? So I've always been a huge Kelly Oubre fan. I'm glad that he found a home in Philadelphia. This team just overall feels well rounded. Nick Nurse got to get himself together, and Joel Embiid has to get back to MVP form. But if he gets back to MVP form, we got to forget Paul George ain't even playing yet this year. You get what I'm saying? So if you can get Joel back to MVP form, Tyrese Maxey stay at this height, you got VJ Edgecombe. You know he probably going to fall back a little bit, but as long as he stays steady, and then you got Jared McCain coming, he's a shooter. Oh my goodness. Shout out to the Sixers and shout out to Tyrese Maxey for taking the bull by his horns and giving the credit to James Harden for his leadership and instilling this confidence that he could do this. You get what I'm saying? So shout out to James Harden for being a great leader and shout out to Tyrese Maxey for taking those notes that was given to him and applying it to his game. Shout out to Tyrese, 33 and a half points per game. He snapped. He snapped. You feel what I'm saying? Next one that's been standing out to me though, Giannis Antetokounmpo with a jump shot, man. Oh my, he might be the only person that can stop Victor Wembanyama. If Giannis Antetokounmpo gonna come out there and be hitting that mid range the way he been hitting that mid range this year and dominating the paint like that, he may be the only player on the planet that can stop Victor Wembanyama and the way he's been coming out this year because Giannis is the only one with the heart. He's the only one with the grit. And now he out there taking on the bad guy role. My man hit the fadeaway game-winning midi on the Indiana Pacers #1 rivalry. Grabbed his nuts and booed the fans. Boo. Boo! In Indiana. I love that from Giannis. Take the bull by his horns. Don't try to be super nice guy all the time, man. Go out there, be Shaq. Put these dudes in the rim, bro. You can be funny guy and you can be nice guy afterwards, but when you on the floor, you make sure they feel your presence, bro. Because you got the most dominant presence in the NBA by far. By far. So for me, shout out to Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak, and for him to go out there and really dedicate himself to developing a mid-range jump shot. This, I think he might be shooting 60% from three this year. You know what I mean? So this is scary, bro. If Giannis continues to really get a jump shot, that's scary because nobody dominates the paint the way he does. Nobody, bro. Nobody. So, and he's not going to ever back down. So, that I love the way the NBA came back this year because the next person I'm talking about is also taking that next step, that next leap, and that's Victor Wembanyama. Like I said, I believe after game one where he came out, he had 30 points against the Dallas Mavericks, and I was like, this is what we've been waiting for, bro. Or no, he had 40 points that game. This is what we've been waiting for, though. This dominance. I know they lost the past two games. They lost to the Lakers yesterday, but that was Luka had a crazy game, and they lost by like 2 points. You get what I'm saying? They lost the past two games, but they started off 5-0. They 5-2 right now. When's the last time you heard the Spurs being 5-2? Victor being MVP form, dominating and utilizing his size in the paint and on the outside. Like can't nobody touch his shot. So you're able to get into all your moves and get into your shot without nobody affecting it at all. So the fact that Wemby realizes that and is living in that mode, that's just absolutely beautiful to me. And it's what the NBA needs. It's like what we truly needed because you think about the past few stars, Zion was supposed to be the next LeBron James. And he can't be on the floor. He's never on the floor. When he is on the floor, he's exciting. But he's never on the floor. It's been too long of him not being on the floor and not showing that consistency. So Wemby, you've been great so far this year, but now it's about staying on that floor. The first 2 years, you've been hurt. Stay on the floor this year, push the Spurs into the playoffs, and now in the NBA got something to hang their hat on. They got themselves something to hang their hat on. You dig what I'm saying? But the biggest takeaway from the early season of the NBA is the Chicago Bulls, led by Josh Giddey, man, averaging damn near a triple double throughout the start of the season. You think about 23 points, 9 rebounds, 10 assists per game. This man has been absolutely dominant, and it's great to see after all of the stuff that he's been through in the past 2 years off of a girl lying on him. He met this girl, I believe, in a club where she shouldn't have been at because she was underage. He was of age. She, of course, lied about her age because she had to lie about her age to get in the damn club. And then it blew up. And if I'm not mistaken, Josh Giddey never had any relations with the girl as far as physical relations. So it was sad to see that man get crucified over misunderstanding, over having a name, over being gullible. You get what I'm saying? So I'm glad that he got up out of that situation. I'm glad he got his name cleared, and I'm glad he's in Chicago helping them rebuild something. You get what I'm saying? And taking back control of his NBA career because he was supposed to be that guy in OKC, and then he started to revert. He started to regress once the allegations and all that came out. Because I mean, you dealing with that stuff. He's a young. You gotta think he's still a young bull. They when that allegations was when I believe he might have been 21, 22 when the girl was like 17. This motherfucker's right now 21, 22 dating 17-year-olds happily. You feel what I'm saying? And you had people that just wanted to paint him as this poster boy for something that's so nasty and horrific, bro. And I'm just glad that he got his name cleared, and I'm glad that he's playing great basketball, man. Really getting back into the flow of his NBA career, man. Shout out to Josh Giddey, and fuck that little girl that lied on his name and tried to take his career away, man. Because it does happen to a lot of people, man. You feel what I'm saying? Like I was in the military. I know a bunch of dudes that lost a military career over getting caught by sleeping with married women, and they don't want to admit it. So it get dark. It get real dark. So I'm glad that Josh Giddey pulled himself out of that situation. Not only pulled himself out of that situation, but regaining his name and what we expected out of this young prospect when he was coming out. Because like I said, he had a huge name coming out and huge expectations coming out, and he was living up to it with OKC until the allegations. So yeah, man. Shout out to Josh Giddey, man. I'm super happy to see you living your best life and taking back control of your NBA career. 23, 9, and 10? I didn't even know he had that in him, bro. I didn't know he had that in him. He was killing the Sixers, bro. Killing them. I'm like, damn. He had like 27, 15 rebounds and like 13 assists. I'm like, bro, the fuck? Yeah, so shout out to Josh Giddey, man. And yeah, man. Great story. Great story. But let's get over to the show ender. The Thursday night football breakdown and predictions. I'm 10-10. I'm at 500 in my prime time predictions so far. I've been back and forth, but I'm back on having my formula of my predictions. You dig what I'm saying? So we got the Raiders at Broncos, and then this one, you think about it right now, Raiders at Broncos. You got the better coach with the Broncos. You got the better quarterback with the Broncos. You got the probably not the better running back, but you got the better running game with the Broncos. You got the better weapons with the Broncos. I just told you the Raiders just traded away Jacoby Myers, and it's in Denver. I'm gonna go with Denver to cover the 9.5 point spread. You think about they got the 14th ranked offense. Yeah, I know they all like, oh, that's middle of the pack, but yeah, that's better than the 29th ranked offense scoring wise for the Las Vegas Raiders. Gino been an absolute turnover machine throughout the 2025 season. I think last week might have been the only game that he didn't have interceptions. I think he's probably going to get back to that tonight. He's probably going to have at least one turnover. You dig what I'm saying? Especially going up against that elite Broncos defense, the number 4 scoring defense in the NFL, going up against the 22nd scoring defense in the NFL for the Las Vegas Raiders. So yeah, give me the Denver Broncos to cover. It was 8.5 on ESPN bet. I bet on FanDuel. I think it was 9.5 on FanDuel. So I still took the Las Vegas, I mean Denver Broncos to cover that 9.5 point spread against the Las Vegas Raiders, especially being at home. And like I said, especially on a short week, I expect some turnovers from Geno Smith. For the parlay legs, I went with Bo Nix for over 1.5 touchdowns. So two passing touchdowns for Bo Nix. And I think I went with over on the receptions for Cortland Sutton because they don't got no corners out there and they be feeding Cortland Sutton. And I think the receptions might have been at 4.5. So I got Cortland Sutton with 5 receptions. I got Bo Nix with 2 passing touchdowns. And I got the Denver Broncos covering the spread on Thursday Night Football at home against the Las Vegas Raiders. Let me know what y'all think. MadMizzy Sports in the AM. Like, comment, share, subscribe, listen, alert. And let me know what y'all think, man. NBA early season for my NBA fans. Let me know what's the number one thing that's standing out to y'all so far. Hey, Converse, get them shades back in, man. I'm trying to get them shades, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't support haters, man. So get that motherfucking cat off your ticket and stop using Shay name to try and sell your sneakers, bro. I don't like that. But Converse, get them shades back in, man. Get them shades back in. You dig what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all think about the trade deadline. Who was the winners? Who was the losers? And who do y'all got tonight, man? Let me know. Thursday night football. MadMizzy Sports in the AM. MizzyWorld Entertainment. Squad. Enjoy the rest of the day and enjoy the game.